What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Neta Studio YouTube podcast page. It's been a while since I've done a podcast, but I think this one is going to have to be done. I've seen the ads myself. You've probably seen it too. I've got a lot of messages from Neltex and a lot of messages from influencers that I know, and also even brand owners are saying, "What do you think about this?" And to be honest with you, when I first saw this class action lawsuit for people who have gotten skin cancer from your fingertips, from gel lamps, UV lamps, yada yada. Okay, let's talk about it. First things first, I did a little research. I clicked on some links and just to see what this is all about. When you see the ad, it's going to pop on Instagram or Facebook. It's going to say, hey, have you and your friends or family developed skin cancer from going to getting your manicure or pedicure when they're using the UV lamp or gel lamp per se? And the first thing you do is you're going to go onto their page and they're going to have an automated system that's going to ask you a few questions. One, what is your name? I put in some fictitious name, John Smith. Next, have you gotten your nails done while being exposed to UV lamp in the last 5 years? Yes, 5 years. Now, this begs the question, how far back are they going to trace this? And who is responsible at this point if this happened to you? If you've developed skin cancer from the UV lamp, who is responsible? Who is this law firm going to sue? Who is going to fork up this settlement, this money? The manufacturers of the gel lamps, the salon, the individual salons, the individual nail techs? How do you know at what point you have developed it? From who? It could be over time exposure, if it is even possible, right? So now I'm looking at this information that they're getting from me. First, they want my phone number. They want my full name. They want my email. Now, these are just basic information. Then after you enter your email, we're going to send you an email with more information that needs to be put in. Now, I feel like that information is going to be more sensitive, probably Social Security, probably payment systems, whatever it is. I didn't get that far because, at the end of the day, I didn't want to put too much information. I've always, been, very cautious of what I put online into any automated system. I did a little research on this law firm is Polgust and Goodhead, and a lot of their social media, a lot of their pages, websites have just been created in the last year, 2024. Is an international law firm, as they stated on their page, and they strictly put on their page that they are an lawyer advertising company. So I don't know if that has to do with maybe just advertising for lawyers. So strictly just, what are they, a firm or just multiple lawyers in one group? Very kind of fishy to me. In the page they do have people's pictures and their name, the lawyer who's representing. This is a class action lawsuit, by the way, and this is being offered by an international law firm, as stated on the website. They have a office in Pennsylvania, which is established this year. Everything is fairly new. I mean, if this was a lawsuit being, processed by or, filed by, let's say, Morgan, or any law firm that's really notable, that's been around in the United States here for a long time, there's some legitimacy there. But when I see this ad, I just think, seems like they want to get your information here. And as to their page, they say, hey, we are not going to get paid until you win. Most of the time, that's what law firms say. When you win, we'll get our money. But that does not mean that you can't pay a retainer fee. A retainer fee is pretty much just for the lawyers to start working. And I don't know if anybody else has kind of gone through this and gotten past a certain stage where you have to make any payments or retainer fee. Of course, I didn't, because I didn't want to, open an email from an international law firm. I don't know what's in there. Anyways, if you are someone that have done this and gone through all the final steps, let me know in the comments. What was your experience? How do you feel? Or if you've even tried this and you're like, hey, I don't feel comfortable doing this, let me know in the comments how you feel about this. But as to who's responsible, I'm thinking it's going to be very hard to pick and choose who's really responsible for this if if this is really legitimate, and if, let's say, for example, someone did develop skin cancer from the UV lamps or gel lamps, getting a manicure, how do you know when and what time you got it? And now who's going to be forking out that settlement? The manufacturers of the gel lamps, the individual nail techs, the nail supply store that sells it, even the state board. The state board is supposed to be regulating, making sure the clients are safe, disease and sanitation, making sure that everything runs smoothly. They don't not restricting gel lamps like they're restricting and prohibiting the use of MMA. I feel like if anybody's responsible, it would be the state. They're not be able to regulate what we're using, or if they're gonna come in and inspect and allow nail techs to use these UV lamps or LED lamps. And at the end of the day, you have to know that we're now using LED lamps. And the nail industry has been hit by so many of these kind of controversial instances when it comes to skin cancer. It's always a study every year that comes up out of nowhere. Some scientists took a piece of pork skin fat, put it in a gel lamp for 20 minutes and repeated it twice. And then the skin shows, the pork skin shows some form of cell mutations. Hey, listen, if I was going to go outside and sit in the sun for 20 minutes, 15 minutes, I'll have some skin mutations too. And are you going to be in the gel lamp that long? The most you probably spend in a gel lamp is probably 5 minutes. That's the whole process. You're like 30 to 60 seconds every cycle. And it's going to be like, top coat, base coat, about 5 minutes max, 2 to 3 minutes. And that's just short time exposure. You have more chance of getting skin cancer if you're going to go outside in the sun, sunbathing. Even going, people go to suntan places and get, sit in these high wattage with UV bulbs. I mean, these lamps are being used for these tests are just lamps that from, early 2000s, really old lamps before we had the LED bulbs. And I'm not going to get on to that. You can always look up what those are. Right now, yes, we have LED bulbs and they're LED UV because there are some spectrums of UV in that light. And those are not the type of UV that you could develop skin cancer or skin cell mutations with. And that's just something you can look it up. There's some videos on that, the different types of wavelengths you're going to be exposed to. But with that being said, a class action lawsuit against who at this point? I mean, am I worried as nail tech? Probably not. Am I worried as someone that do sell gel lamps for my brand? Probably not. But as the client, if you are worried and if you are wanting to get into this lawsuit, all I gotta say is be careful what you put on the internet. The information you give them, make sure you're reassured. You make sure you cross your T's, dot your I, do your research before putting any sensitive information, because this is a company that widely, if you Google them, just established in 2024, and they're putting some money in ads and a quick video of someone in front of a picture, green screen, just telling you, hey, we have a class action lawsuit going on. Have you developed skin cell mutations from your fingertips? And you're going to click into it. And I feel like this is going to be one of those things where you actually have to have skin cancer to actually enter this class action lawsuit. It's not something like, oh yeah, I get my nails done, and then a nail tech, nail salon have put my hands in a UV lamp. I don't think that's going to be the case here. I think the case for this lawsuit specifically is you have to actually have skin cancer, and they're going to utilize that skin cancer and they're going to try to trace it back to the fingertips, and they're going to try to trace it back to the UV lamps. But even if that was the case, how many times have you gotten your nails done in the last 5 years? That's one of the questions. Have you developed skin cancer from the fingertips? And have you gotten your nails done in the last 5 years? Yes, probably. If you've gotten your nails done in the last 5 years, or you're actively getting your nails done, you've probably gone to at least over dozens, if not hundreds, of different nail techs in the last 5 years. Who knows? You might even have a gel lamp at home that you can use on yourself. This is what's confusing to me. And this is why, I'm worried that this is majorly a data collecting kind of instance where you're putting your information in and you're going to get spammed. It happens all the time. If you've ever applied for a mortgage, you're going to get spammed by what? hundreds of people calling, lenders calling you. And you're like, that's weird. I only applied with one lender. It's because the credit bureau sells your information. The moment they credit check you and it flags you as trying to get a mortgage, guess what? They're going to sell that to every mortgage person. They're going to look it up and they're going to spam call you. Done happened to me. So this is why I'm very tentative to put in any personal information, even phone numbers, into an online system like this. But that's just my 2 cents about it. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. And welcome back to the Now That Studio podcast channel. Hope to do a lot more videos on the industry and do some industry talk, and kind of maybe even answer some questions that are more extensive for live guys that are inboxing me, and we can talk about it in these videos and hopefully help a lot of people. But not trying to scare anybody. As a nail tech, I love this industry. I hate to see it constantly being attacked by these, scary skin cancer situation when it comes to gel lamps. I just don't think gel lamps are going anywhere anytime soon, guys. And I just have not seen any really credible case of people getting skin cancer from the gel lamps. And maybe there have been cases. It's a big world out there. Out of tens of millions of people that get their nails done, probably maybe one. But you never see it. And I feel like if there's someone that's actually had it, it would be all over the news first thing in the morning, right? But with that being said, that's just my 2 cents on it. I hope you guys enjoy this podcast. And I really want to see what you guys think about this class action lawsuit on people that have developed skin cancer from the fingertips. You got to be very specific, from the fingertips. And possibly in the last 5 years. And I want to see how this goes. And if this is actually legitimate, we'll probably see something in the next 6 months to a year. If it's not, you're probably gonna disappear. They threw some money at it, put some ads out, and they got some information. And I hope that you guys stay safe out there when you put your information in there. Okay, guys? All right, I'll catch you guys in the next podcast. Hope you guys enjoy this one.